Hey y'all, Natalie here, and I have two spreads in my Heidi Swapp Storyline Chapters memory planner. So let's get started. The first week I'm working on is February 14th through 20th, so it's the start of Valentine week. So I wanted to make the header a little more pink. It's like a peachy color, but I wanted really like maybe, I guess, traditional Valentine colors. So I grabbed this 12 by 12 paper and I cut a couple of strips, and it's really bright pink with little like crosses on it. So I'm going to use that to cover up the header, and then I just like cut off the excess in the little rounded corner shape. I'm going to do that on both sides. I'm just trimming off a little excess that kind of got outside of the page, and you can see my wild hair. But I did it on both sides, and then I cut my February and my numbers in black, and I later on will cut a little heart to put in between the numbers there, like a little dash. But I'm going to put those up there, and I like how they really pop off the page. So now I have my photos, and I have a whole collection. That's when I was trying to take one cute photo of my kids on Valentine's Day. And of course, I have to take about 20 photos of them being crazy and silly to get one good one. So I just did a screenshot for the planner because I'm obviously going to scrapbook the actual good shots. I decided I want to do a storyteller grid. That is a Heidi Swapp stamp. The alphas there you see are a stamp society. I'm not going to do a lot of journaling in this block, so I just choose to use the smaller one. And I'm just going to fill it in with like a collage of stamps, but I am going to stamp directly onto that cardstock first as like an example, and to figure out what colors I want to use and what stamps I want to use, and then directly stamp into my planner. You could also cut out what you stamp on cardstock and add that into your planner if stamping directly into your planner makes you nervous. My theory is I want to stamp directly in, and if I mess up, then I can cover it up with a piece of cardstock if I need to. So I pulled out festive berries and pickled raspberry and, what was the other one? I don't know, it was another red color, but the two festive berries and the other red ended up being kind of the same color. So I didn't use both of them. So I'm just pulling out a bunch of different stamps that I think will fit into the blanks and that are kind of themey with Valentine's Day. I also want to make sure I have a good balance between words and icons. I also have to say that I really love that Heidi included numbers in this alpha stamp from Stamp Society. I used them surprisingly more than I would have thought. So I kind of picked out all the stamps I want to use. So now I'm going to go through and add them in as the colors. And I do recommend doing a practice stamping session because I did change some colors. So here I'm going to do some stamping in black, and then I decide that I have a couple pops of purple in my photos, and so I end up changing all the black for purple. So again, nice to give yourself time to make those adjustments if you need. But I love these storyteller grids. I love the look of them. They are a little bit time consuming to make, but for me it's worth it. I mean, as with most people, I think this is like a therapeutic process, stamping, planning, scrapbooking, anything like that. So I'm just making sure it fits really well between the photos there. But anyway, so even if it's time consuming, that's okay, because you're doing this for you. You're doing this to be a storyteller. You're not doing this to like get a quick page done, right? You're doing this for other reasons. So if it makes you happy, even if it takes a while, do it, right? So now I'm going to actually do it directly onto the page. Because I have other items on those bottom pages, I did use like a little, it's like a silicone shim. It's actually for die cutting, but I just stick that in as kind of like a good little surface to stamp on, to kind of cover up if I had like some bulkiness underneath on that other page. So you can see I exchanged the purple, or I'm using the purple now instead of black. And I'm really glad I went with that, even though I have black letters up at the top, but I like the way the purple looks with the red and the pink. So I have just a plethora of stamps here from all different collections. But the Feb 14, I chose 5 things to remember today as like the insert of the blank. And I decided to create like a little list of 5 things to remember about like love. So that's why I chose that insert. So now I have 5 numbers. I'm going to put those down below that, and I'm going to have just a really big section here. And so, yeah, this section about love and Valentine's Day kind of extends past the Monday of Valentine's Day, but I'm okay with that. I love the collage look of this. This is like what scrapbooking is to me. So the messy nature and the overlapping is just what I love. I added in my numbers, and then I thought, oh my gosh, I haven't added in my signature leopard print stamping. Now, I will say I was glad that I hadn't done that yet, because if I had added some up at the top, it would have just been too busy with that storytelling grid. So I am happy that I went ahead and did the grid before adding in my leopard stamping. But I just love the touch, the look that gives. I will continue to do that on every spread. So a tip, if you kind of don't have a lot of photos for the week, those little screenshots you see on the left are a test. Like, I made my husband do a little online quiz with me. I love language profile. And so I did a little journaling about our love languages. And so think about a theme or just like a list or something that maybe goes with the week that you could add in that you don't necessarily need pictures for. Text screenshots, I do that a lot too. So always something to fill your planner with. I have a book I added on there. That is our kitchen rendering. We are doing a kitchen remodel. So we received that on this week, and put that in there. Picture of my dog. Baseball practice started that week. All kinds of goodness going on. I'm going to add in the pen later. So I do think that I'm done with the spread. I'm going to use a purple pen, and you can see it in the final shots when I add in the journaling. So I'm going to work on the next spread. And I had screenshot a couple of like support artwork for the Ukraine, and I was going to add those in on that Friday of that week. I'm sorry about the dog barking in the background. And I didn't really plan it, but they end up dictating the color of my layout. I had some pops of yellow and some pops of blue in the photos, so I grabbed some blue washi, and it's the exact perfect size of the header. And I thought, you know what? We're just going for it. We're doing it. So it actually ends up being a blue and yellow spread, but I really love it. I had already cut out the date before I decided on the color scheme. So it is blue, and it kind of blends in a little bit, but you can see it a lot better in person than you can see on the screen, even though it does blend in a little more. Like if I had waited until after, I would have probably cut it out in white or yellow. Yellow would have looked nice. But anyway, I wasn't going to go and recut it. So I'm going to add in my leopard stamping. I used fossilized amber, which is the yellow ink there that you can see. And I'm just going to stamp it randomly around the spread. And I did leave the artwork artist on there. So the floral is You've Been Faced. The peace sign is Creative Verly BT, and the hope is Jess Miller Draws. And you can see those more in the close-ups. So Tuesday was 2/22/22. So I used the 2 from the store or from the Stamp Society here to stamp 5 2s, and then the inside stamp is going to say where did the time go, and I did that in yellow. And then I'm going to add a couple of little labels that say Taco Tuesday, because not only was it 2/22/22, but it was also a Taco Tuesday. So it was just like the ultimate, right? I planted some flowers I've been waiting to plant. And I helped my kids decorate their Pinewood Derby cars for Boy Scouts. The daddy helps them build, and the mommy helps them decorate. And the little one wanted a pink Power Ranger, and there might be a lot of jewels on there from my craft stash. I am using the number stamps from the storyteller grid to add in the numbers for my dates. So this is a picture I took when I didn't have an umbrella and I got soaking wet after a doctor's appointment. So all around, it's an ugh day, right? I don't like the picture of myself. It's not cute, but it tells a story. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cover it with this little vellum. And I keep looking at the other page because I want to use my mini attacher you see there to attach this vellum. So you can kind of pick it up and read the story underneath. I wanted to make sure that when I stapled it, I was going to be able to put something over it on the other side to hide the back side of the staple. So I do go back onto that Valentine's layout and add in a couple of die cuts to cover up the staples. But I had a big empty space there, so that was cool. And I didn't have any journaling to fill it up or anything. So I'm stamping the word UGG in blue on the vellum. It works. It is distress oxide. It does work. It does dry. It just takes a very long time to dry. Please be mindful of that if you are going to try this. It takes a long time to dry. I also had that COVID sticker sheet that I had used for a layout a few weeks ago or a few days ago. And it had a doctor bag on there. So I thought that would be another good way to cover up my photo. There I am adding in my Taco Tuesday labels. I just kind of like doubled them up, layered them up, and stapled them together with that tiny attacher again to add there. Now I'm going to do a storyteller grid over here with the Friday when we woke up to the news about what had happened in Ukraine. So I had that what sticker. It was perfect yellow color from that same COVID Simple Stories sticker sheet. And I'm just going to add in a few stamps. Another thing that it is time consuming is when you use the little alphas from the storyteller grid. But again, I needed to be done. So I used those alphas to say Ukraine invasion. And then that last empty blank over there, I did a little journaling and then a whole lot more journaling over on the left to just kind of say my feelings of everything going on. And I'm going to rate that book. It was a 4 out of 5. The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. It's the Millennium series. And I'm going to finish up with a few stamps and then I'll add in my journaling with blue pen off camera and you can see all of the close-ups and stills to see what it all says if you're interested. But thank you guys for watching so much. I appreciate it. I would love it if you would like and subscribe to my channel. And I hope you enjoy these memory planning videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.